G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Now as you can tell by today's video thumbnail that today I'm going to be talking about how to dispose of your LiPos, NiCads, whatever batteries you use in RC the correct way. Well, this is the way that I do it anyway. I know there's different ways of doing it. You can hook up the batteries to a light bulb and get it to discharge that way, and there's plenty of other ways, but I usually use the salt water trick. Usually I put my batteries or LiPos in a 10-litre bucket, not a small container like this. So anyway, today what I was doing was just checking some old batteries that I got, mainly nickel metal hydride and NiCad packs that I had in one of my LiPo bags, alongside with some one-cell batteries that I hardly use anymore, but I thought I'll go through them today. This one is okay. I charged them up, I tested them out. These ones are pretty good, they hold the charge, but this one here in the background is no good. This is a 7.2 volt NiCad pack, and I put the multimeter on the end of the plug here and checked the voltages that it was sitting at, and it only showed, I think it was 4.28 volts. So I googled what a 7.2 volt NiCad pack fully charged should be, and I believe it said 8.7 volts to 9 volts. So I tried charging this up on my hobby grade charger, and the hobby grade charger just said battery low voltage. So I tried again and it said connection lost. So I wouldn't actually recognize this battery to charge it, even though it was on the NiCad setting. So anyway, I'll put on the trickle charger, one of those USB trickle chargers with this plug, and I managed to trickle charge it up to, I think it was close to 6 volts, and then I was able to charge the rest of it up on my hobby grade charger. I actually noticed it at that voltage. So it charged up really quickly, and at the end I put the multimeter back on it and it only showed 8.2 volt. I tested it out in an RC car and it just ran for like 20 seconds at pretty much full power, and then just died off straight away. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dispose this one, guys, and I've got a couple of LiPos here that I found as well. Here's a little puffy one cell, I think it's 150 milliamp hour, just from one of those little JJRC Whoop style toy grade quads. Okay, so as you can see, that's a little ticking time bomb there. You don't want that. I found another X5C battery. This is a rather old battery. I think the last time I used this one was to power up a all-in-one camera, FPV camera. So as you can see, 600 milliamp hours, and that's puffy as well. So definitely want to get rid of that. And as you can see here, it tells you on the back, basically with a diagram, do not throw these in the bin. All right, especially if they got charge in them. Now this one, I checked it out and it had 3.89 volts, so it's just above storage rate. This one here, I checked it and it didn't give a reading at all. So all right guys, so these three I'm going to throw in the water. Now all you need is some, I just used some table salt. Okay, I've already put some salt in there, so you just want a container of water or a bucket of water, and just put some table salt in there. This is the way I discharge my LiPos, and it seems to work rather well. Okay, give it a bit of a mix. Alright, and we'll start putting these batteries in. So you basically just put them in. Okay, there was a friend of mine that was wondering if once you put them in salt water, I was talking to him the other day, I was wondering if it'd explode by being in water. So as you can see, you're not going to get a shock or anything like that, and you just leave them in water, guys. Now like I said, I don't usually use a container like this. I'm just doing it for the purpose of this video so you can see what's going on. Okay, so I'll let that sit for a while, and slowly what we should see are some bubbles forming. It's like those fizzy bubbles that you get in a soft drink or soda drink, as you say in the US, you know. Yeah, that's what we're going to see coming out of the actual plugs. And basically all you do is leave these batteries for as long as those bubbles disappear. Okay guys, so I've just positioned the batteries a little bit. I'll put the NiCad on the bottom, and we've got the lipos on the top. Now this is a perfect example of what I was just telling you. Let me just zoom in there. So as you can see, this NiCad battery still has around 7 volts in it after I tested it out. As you can see, those bubbles are coming out really quickly, just like a soft drink. You'd see it on a can of Coke or something, alright? So what you're actually looking at here is the chemicals in the battery itself are getting released and reacting with the salt water, and it's discharging. Alright guys, so just like I said, it's like a fizzy drink, a soda, you know, like opening up a can of Coke and you see all them bubbles. You can see the plug, you see that little bit of yellow film coming out of it. That's the chemicals being released. The nickel, I guess, and the cadmium. Alright, so you're going to see a bit of that as it's discharging. So all you do, you just leave them, you know. Let's have a look at the lipo. I can't see anything there. The water is a bit murky because I put heaps of salt in there. I think I just saw a little bubble, but this one had no charge in it when I put the multimeter on it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Any coming out of here? A little bit. There's a bubble there floating, but yeah, that's all you do, guys. You just let these sit in a bucket of water. That's all you do. You just sit back, just leave it, go do your normal thing at home. Make sure you leave these outside. I'm in the actual shed at the moment. And then, you know, it might take a few hours for it to totally discharge. It might take all day, depending on how many milliamp hours the battery is. But basically, you just let them sit until those bubbles are gone, and that's the way you dispose of your batteries, guys. You take them out of the water and send them off to, you know, your local recycling depot. Alright guys, so this is how I dispose of my batteries. This is how I discharge my batteries. I don't bother trying to hook them up to any light bulbs or anything like that. Not saying that that is the wrong way to do it. I just rather put them in water, let them sit, heaps of salt water, just let them discharge on their own. Forget them, come back later and dispose of them in the correct manner. Alright guys, so anyway, hope this video helped you or gave you a bit of an insight on one way of disposing your RC batteries, the correct and safest way. And yeah, if it did help you, feel free to give this video a like. Sure to appreciate it. Put your comments below. Do you do this method of the salt water and the bucket trick, or do you do it some other way? Let me know in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, like, comment, and I'll catch you on the next one.